The society tells you that don't do this course, hainanga kazi. Don't do this course, hainanga kazi. So you find that this is your passion. You want to become a teacher, you want to become an accountant. That's what become students do. You want to become a nurse. But someone tells you that mtoto wa nani did nursing, she's nowhere. Mtoto wa nani did medicine, she's nowhere. Mtoto wa nani did engineering, she's nowhere. Hainanga kazi. So I feel those are one of the things that affects us in choosing our courses.
Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Hi, how have you been? My name is Phoebe Mbugwa
and I'm Sanga Whitney.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. I hope you've been really good. Today we have a really interesting topic for you guys, and it's something that so many youths miss out on and need to hear. And you're going to hear it from Whitney. No, when I tell you this girl is wise, you won't believe me, but I just want you to hear from her today. So we are going to be talking about career, because I know still at an age where everyone is doing whatever they want, some careers have been put on top of others. I feel like we need to have a conversation about career. So I think we should start by what is career, how do people perceive career, and where are we going wrong as a country in terms of career, because we really have some problems there.
So I think thank you so much, Phoebe, and guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe and to like our videos. Remember to share. I think I'll start by saying people get exposed to career in high school. It is in high school where you're told when you grow up, what would you want to become? And you remember everyone was like, I want to become a neurosurgeon, I want to become a lawyer. You see, like those courses that were exposed to us by our parents, because we believe those are the great courses out there. So we were exposed to career back in high school. And I remember when I was in high school, the high school I went to, they used to call lecturers from universities around. And something funny, when I come to think of it nowadays, I never saw lecturers from a particular school. It was always about the education, law school, medical school. Like, there are courses that when you were in high school, we never knew they existed. I never knew food science existed. I never knew criminology existed. I never knew BCom existed. You see, like, it was so much of the big courses, the medicine, the law, all those courses that were perceived to be great, nursing courses, and these are the courses we were exposed to most of the time. And sometimes when I think of it nowadays, I ask myself, I think we should be fair enough to talk to people about each and every course, because we tend to talk to students about the courses that we think they are good, and they require high cluster points for you to achieve them. Because when I narrow back to high school, we used to have people who would score A, B, C, D, like we were distributed, and I was part of the average group. This average group, from Form 1 to Form 5, never scored an A, meaning I can't even get to medicine.
And the question is always, as you present the engineering courses, the medicine courses, the teaching courses, there's someone who, even, you can get yourself with what you're going to get in KCC, depending on what you're getting now. So you feel like there are people whose dreams are already killed at high school. They don't think that their course is good enough. Their grade is good enough for the courses you're being presented to. So number one, you're saying we weren't exposed enough to courses
early enough. Not that we were not exposed, we were exposed, but we were exposed to specific courses. Things like actuarial science, things like statistics, those are good courses. But there are things that we have come to learn in campus.
When you've already made the decision.
When we were in high school, everyone was believed to score a good grade in KCSE. You see, when I score a C+ now, no miracle can happen. I score an A+.
Exactly.
KCSE. So when you talk to me about medicine, I feel like the music in high school should be okay. Not all high school do this, but the high school which expose people to all the courses. But I think the music in high school should be there is health science, there is medicine, there is law, there is business. That one is what most people run away from. Become you get. There is business, there is computing. Then we should also have people from TVET because nowadays students are running away from TVET courses, and I believe TVET courses are taking up the market. We should have people from TVET school coming to talk to people about what it means to do masonry, what it means to do a diploma in automotive engineering. Because look at the market now. TVET courses are overpowering the degree courses. But when I go back to high school, no one from a polytechnic came to talk to us. It was always about university. So I think that's where career started. And now we walked the journey to Form 4. We finished Form 4. And that's where depression hits. Because it's time, results are out. I never knew the courses that I was exposed to. The cluster points are 40 something. I scored a C plus, I scored a B minor, I scored even a D. You get? This is a student who scored a D, but you only expose them to the big courses. No one from TVET came to tell them that when you score a D, that's not the end of life.
And
There's something great for you.
And you know something funny is that when I look back at high school, I think I wasn't so much affected by that because you see the bright students mostly will always feel like their future is secure because I already know I'm going to the university.
Sure.
I already know I'm going to do a good course. But come to think of those people who somehow felt like tulikuwa tushaonyeshwa university is the future. University is the future. Nobody talked about college. Nobody talked about polytechnics and how good they were. Actually, they used to say it's either you go to the university or you just go to a college where people still wear uniform. What does that mean? Let's be university.
It's always like it's either you're going to university or KMTC.
Exactly.
I think me, where I've been raised, I think that's the I don't know, call it misconception or it's always if you're not going to university, you're going to KMTC.
And it was put as a bad thing. Like in my high school, it was always like uchunge usiende college because this uniform that you're already tired of, you're still going to wear it when you go to college. So it's like degree and university was was given so much, I think, attention that we forget that nobody is going to make it to university, and we don't see that reality until now or until later. Because as a teacher, I think you should ask yourself, what about now that we are insisting about university? What happens if someone doesn't make it there
to university?
It's depression.
I think the music should change in high school. I think CBC has come. I think CBC is going to change 1 or 2, 3 things. But you see, with 844, the music should change back in high school. Students will be able to be exposed. We should see people from KMTC coming, talking to us that you can still be a nurse. If you can still be a clinical medicine, a medical doctor in KMTC. We should have people from Polytechnic talking to the boys who score maybe a D minor, telling them that's not the end of life. If you know how to assemble things, you can do this. Exactly. We should have people from TTC. You see, those colleges, polytechnics, they are good.
And they also make
good people.
And they should learn also, they make them narrative kinda softer for those people who are not performing. Because I think when we talk about colleges in a bad way, there's a way they might come, but they might not give the message as they're supposed to show us that even if you don't make it to university, it's actually okay. You can do a diploma, you can do a certificate, and still be as good as the person who went to university, or even much better. So it's about showing, also considering those who are not performing, because the truth is, even if we want everybody to get an A, at the end of the day, nobody's, and I thank God that we had CS. With Matiani, CS Magoa, who came and changed that narrative. Exactly.
That you find in a school, 340 students all scored an A. But you see, when you have that balance, you're going to have people exposed to what they love. You see, when I score an A that I don't deserve, it means I'm going to go to law school because my mom will want me to do those good courses. You see, my mom will want to say that my daughter is a doctor. And I scored an A, maybe which I don't deserve, then I go to medicine. But maybe I'm not a doctor. Personally, I'm not a doctor. I'm not anything to do with medical. It's not inside me. So saying the narrative should change in high school. We should have people exposed to each and every particular thing in the market. Let people get exposed to university degrees. Let people get exposed to diploma degrees. Now we call them TVETs. People should be exposed to all these things. KMTCs are very good institutions that people should be exposed to. But for us, where we were raised to believe that when you fail to get a nursing degree in campus is when you shift to KMTC. You see, or when you fail to go to university is when you shift to KMTC.
Exactly.
We were never exposed to what is KMTC. You see, I met a friend who was telling me she studies, I think, something to do with medical, something, laboratory in KMTC. And I was like, I thought KMTC is only for nurses.
Nurses,
Me, I've never known that there are other courses.
Actually,
in
my
KMTC.
sister wanted to do pharmacy.
Yeah.
She wanted to do pharmacy and I was like, hiya, kumbe KMTC teaches pharmacy.
Yeah.
Such a good course in KMTC. So you see, and there are people who they really wanted to do a medical course, but their qualification couldn't get there.
Yeah.
Even if you had scored the grade for going to campus, your clusters don't meet up to that course. That course. So you don't have to like settle for a course that is not for you just because your clusters couldn't get there. So that's why we're talking about colleges and encouraging exposure. And you know, it's not even about KMTC only. There are so many medical colleges out here. There's so many, because also KMTC limits the number of admissions. Sometimes there are not so many, but colleges are not bad. And I think that is the narrative that should be changed back in high school. Now let's go to people have now finished form 4 and now reality is hitting
before
them.
Really, there's a body called COOPS, Kenya
Oh my
Placement
God.
something. That body.
They placed me in Meru. Guys, I didn't want to come to Meru. I didn't want to do BCom, but
Yeah, I
glory
think
to God.
that's the first step. And let's say before we get to COOPS, results are released. You've not decided which course you want. There are 4 people who affect you. Your parents, you yourself, your passion, what you wanted to pursue, and then we have the cluster points, and then we have market perception or the market norms. And you see, when you bring in the parents always want what is best for us. There are parents who feel,
let's say some.
the parents who feel like, I want my kid to be like me, I'm an engineer, I would want my kid to be an engineer. There are parents who feel like, okay, our neighbor, maybe your parent need to go to school, but feels like all your neighbors who are teachers, they're doing well. So your mother will want, my God, you need to be this, because I feel like in the society, this is what excels in our society. It's like telling your African parent you want to be a musician after high school. Hey!
Alafu kwanza, it happens that you passed. You know, there's someone who says getting an exemplary good grade can also be a curse in this case. You know that?
Sure.
Because you can do any course of your liking. So the probability of you choosing the thing that you really want from your heart is very narrow. Because your parent feels like you've already achieved, you've already gotten the grade that for becoming a doctor, you've already gotten the grade for becoming an engineer. But is that what you really want? But your parent feels, I always feel like parents are, okay, like you said, parents want the best for us, but I feel they think they want the best for us according to their brains, but they might not know exactly what is good for us. Don't you think so? Because I think nobody knows what is best for you than you.
Me, I think I respect parents when it comes to experience in life. You see, when my mom says, which me I don't want to take this direction, I listen to her because I feel like, you know, I'm 20, my mom is 45. Again, so when my mom tells me that, I feel like in those 25 years, she has seen something about this thing that is not right. Sometimes it's true, but sometimes you find that things have changed. This is not her times, you know. But I listen to them. Another thing about the career is when passion strikes in.
But I still have a question about parents. You see, I agree. There are parents who are literate and there are parents who are really exposed, but also the parents who, okay, with all due respect, they didn't achieve what they wanted, and they want to it's like
Impose.
or
Okay.
transfer. It's like it's hereditary or something, or they just want to pass it on. Like for example, I wanted to become a doctor, and I really wanted to become, but I didn't maybe finish my education. So much as you as a parent, you're watching this and you feel like your daughter has gotten the grade she wants, instead of just advising on just which course she can do, ask from the way she knows herself, if she does. And that is actually another problem when we are choosing our careers. We are at a point where we might not know ourselves. So instead of just telling her to do whatever she wants, take her on a journey, or maybe give her a career counselor who can help her to go through that journey, or him or her to go through that journey.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah.
So I think these are good points. I was talking about passion. Passion strikes in when this is what you wanted. But I always have two issues with passion. There are people who have passion. Me, I wanted to become a teacher. Passionate. I feel like I'm good in teaching, so I wanted to become a teacher. But there are people who have passion for things they don't know about. Just because when we were in class 3, what you know that topic, what you want to become, you said you wanted to become a lawyer. You find that you are not even you don't even understand what is law. But because someone has made you believe that when you become a lawyer you'll have a permanent house, you'll drive a Range Rover, now you think that is passion. But you know the thing that you are attached to that law is when you think when I study law I'll have a permanent house, I'll drive a Range Rover.
For the wrong reason.
Yeah, for the wrong reason. So you think it's passion, but that is what is driving you to pursue that law. And when you finish for the year and maybe you don't secure a job, is when you feel like, you know, you thought that I'll finish, I'll get the Range Rover, I'll feel like a first job can get me this. So that's when depression hits you after
you maybe started doing that course.
Yeah.
You know, on the same, there's this person I was telling, I always feel like maybe I did not do the course I wanted to do. But even if I was given a choice to just like maybe if I scored all the grades I wanted, maybe I scored a straight A with all A's, and I was told to choose the thing I really want to do, I still believe deeply that I would have made the wrong choice.
Yeah.
Somehow, because like I'm saying, we're not exposed in our country. We talk about careers too late somehow. Yeah. We talk about careers too late. So you've not gotten to a point of knowing yourself as in career wise. You know, I think career should also come from how you are as a person. There are people who are creative, so creative. Even when they
I think that's where CBC comes in. That's why maybe CBC can be a good thing. It's only that maybe people feel it's expensive, but in terms of exposure at an early age, I think CBC is good.
Yeah, those who are lucky enough to have known what they really wanted after high school, and their parents agreed, then lucky for them. But some of us, I'm part of that group, which I don't know. Even if I would have been told to choose a thing that is really my passion, now after knowing myself and after doing all things after, back then I don't think I would have still made the right decision. So
I think passion is something very sensitive, and I always tell people analyze your passion. My sister she's in form 4, and I always tell her analyze your passion. Is it something that you feel it's in you? Like is it medicine? Is it in you? Do you feel like you can be in a hospital environment? Was it because you feel like when I become a doctor, I will drive a Range Rover? Yes, and not that you see, but when you are young, your mother tells you, unaona ule jirani yetu, our neighbor is driving a Range Rover and he's a doctor. Yeah. So you feel like for you
just because he's a doctor,
you need to become a doctor. So I tell people analyze passion in 2 ways. Understand, is it the right passion, or is it something that is attaching you to feel like I want to do this career? You get what is driving you to become that thing. Another thing about when you're after high school is something called cluster points. I think that's what kills most people.
Coops.
Coops. It's called Kenya Placement Service. I don't know. Kenya Placement something. Okay. Coops now comes in and tells you, see, when you want to become a nurse, you need to have an average of 48 points. You have 30. When you want to become a nurse, when you want to go to UN, you need to have this. When you want to go to Mary University, you need to have this. And let me tell you, Phoebe, I believe 90% of Kenyan students are not at the universities that they chose.
Yeah.
In my class, I asked people.
The last one, you see the last one that you selected there, that is where they take you.
Yeah.
Especially if you just apply to a university, it doesn't matter what other campus you apply to, just be guaranteed you're going to be taken there. Because
I think, what most students don't understand, universities goes with capacity. You see, most of us were raised to believe you only need to study in your own KU to be in university. But you see, when this other university mushroom, we had so many university coming up, people didn't want to change the mindset and think like a degree in Meru, a degree in UN is still a become degree at the end of the day. But people want to go to towns. Like, I want to go to UN, I want to go to KU, is in town. You get, like, that's what we've been made to believe. Another thing about university,
and they all applied to KU, which KU can accommodate up to a certain number of people. So in fact, I was told, which this is an advice I didn't take. I would advise people to take it. If you really want to do a course and your cluster points are not that high, just apply in your first selection. Apply a university which you call them, you call them village universities. But let me tell you, those village universities, the capacity of that degree and the capacity of the degree in UN or KU, it's the same because they're both approved universities. Just choose a university, the course you want, but in a university maybe that you really didn't want, but because your clusters are not going to get you where you want, just choose a university that can accommodate your clusters.
I think another thing is that people need to understand, like, you see, UN, when you want to go to do nursing in UN can only accommodate 200 students. That's their capacity. That's their, there's ratio student lecturer ratio. The UN can only accommodate 200 nurses. Then you find all the people who scored a minus, like 3,000 people want to go to UN. UN will take their first 200 and they will have to spread these other people in the other university. At the end of the day, they are all public universities. They will all be accommodated by the government. So people need to understand that don't be heartbroken when you're called to a university that you didn't want to go. Me, I'm a true believer. God places you in a position with a reason. Another thing, Phoebe, is it the way we have tumekuja to universities direct? I have realized in our society, when you score below C+, most people take time to go to the next step. You stay at home, mtu ananunuliwa pikipiki, or someone is being taken to do odd jobs before they go to the next step. Because number one, it is passive. College is expensive, but I will advise people, nowadays there are funds, there are TVET funds. When you finish high school, do not wait. University is automatically. September you are in, June you are in. But those people who score less than a C+, get a chance in any of the colleges. Do any course. Colleges have good courses. Colleges have courses that expertise. They have good courses. Don't wait for 2 years. You're going to serve as a housemaid somewhere. Go to your MCA. Go to the CDF office. Try and get these funds. This is the exposure we're trying to talk about. Parents, let's stop keeping our kids at home after Form 4 because they scored a C+. Let them go to college. After college, they can advance to degree. And by the time we graduate from our degrees, we'll be in the same position with them.
And I'm a true witness. I've seen someone from our village who, even the villagers didn't think he's going to finish his college. And he just started. Imagine just Ingia, the faith and the few funds you have, Ingia. I kid you not, God is going to provide a way. He's the one who gave you, he's the one who made you get that grade. If he really didn't want you to go to campus, he will maybe not allow you to score that grade. But just take the step of faith, go to campus. And those people who think degree is a waste of time, just go take someone who finished Form 4 and never furthered their studies, and then put them in a discussion with someone who has just finished campus, or someone who, I know still life is a teacher, but university, okay, not per se university, but education is really important. It's going to broaden your thinking. It's going to expose you to people who might be your destiny connector. It's going to just give you that time to grow. There is a reason why there is a gap between an 18-year-old and a 24-year-old. That time, before you even start earning money, you still have a lot of time. Just go invest in your brain, invest in yourself, education wise, and just trust me, you're not going to regret it.
So for me, I'm a true advocate of TVETs. I feel like everyone has an opportunity to pursue what they want.
Yeah.
You can go to university, you can go to college, but I just want people to get exposed to the TVET courses. I want people to get exposed to the diploma courses. What does it mean to go to KMTC? I just realized recently that KMTC is not only for nurses. There are so many courses in KMTC, but it's because of our exposure that we've been exposed to believe it's a nursing school. But there are so many things people can do there. So me, I pray that our current society are going to be exposed to these courses, and people are not going to give up. When you finish Form 4, don't give up on your education. Go further,
No matter
pursue what you want. It's not a must to go to university. There are people who started at a certificate of a nursing certificate or a business certificate. They are now at university. Some of them even have PhDs. In future, I think we are going to bring people who can testify what we are talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I have one final question before we close out this video. So there's someone who chose the course, and then they're in university and they've realized, oh my god, this is not the course for me. I don't know whether we really have the word for them, because maybe I've just finished my degree, but it wasn't something I wanted to do. So what will be your advice to people who realize they're not doing the course they wanted to do?
I think, Phoebe, what I would say first is that in our next video, we want us to elaborate more about the campus life, and I would want to talk to people about just accepting what you've been called to do. You see, especially for us who come from humble families, you see, for people who come from good families, you can easily switch up.
Yeah,
But I was called to do,
yeah.
you know, for us, what to us, serikali, most of the time you find that I've been called to do education in Meru University. Switching up to another course, it's very hard.
Expensive,
But you see, I have a friend who switched up and went to Strathmore. She's doing what she wants. But me, I can't afford to go to Strathmore. So when you're in that position where you can't get money to do that other course, me, I always say that maybe you don't have an option at that time, but just accept the course you've been called to do and be great. Me, I was called to do BCom, and I wanted to be a teacher, and I promised myself I'm going to be great in BCom, and if it's teaching, I can still be a university lecturer.
Exactly, yeah.
So guys, I think in our next video we're going to talk so much about career now in university. Now you are at the university level, or you are at the college level, at the KMTC, any college, any polytechnic. How do you handle yourself with your course? How do you look like your course? And I think that's what we're going to talk about next time. And last, let me just mention something about market. When you are in Form 4, you're choosing your course, there's another perception about market that your parents tell you, not even parents, the society. The society tells you that don't do this course, hainanga kazi. Don't do this course, hainanga kazi. So you find that this is your passion. You want to become a teacher, you want to become an accountant. That's what BCom students do. You want to become a nurse. But someone tells you that, mtoto wa nani did nursing, she's nowhere. Mtoto wa nani did medicine, she's nowhere. Mtoto wa nani did engineering, she's nowhere. Hainanga kazi. So I feel those are one of the things that affects us in choosing our courses. Because me, when I wanted to do education, but when I chose to do BCom, I have a very supportive parent. My mom says, whatever you want, as long you're the one going to study. I'm not going to study. I'll be here at home. And I had people, even close people, telling me that, how do you expect to manage from BCom? People are doing this BCom and suffering. I told them, I don't know. But it's what I feel like I can do at the moment.
Exactly. And sometimes it's what can you do at a personal level. There's what we can do, and there are things that are just beyond us. Like when I studied BCom, whether even if it's not BCom, even the course that person who is telling you they are doing and it's good, they have no guarantee that they are going to get out and get a job. Some things are out of our means. So what you just do is do your best, do that degree, and just do the best you can do. Try to build it as much as you can. That is what we're going to be talking about in the next video. And then the next thing, just leave it to God. Nobody knows your future. Nobody knows where it's going to take you. And if you just be excellent, there's so many BCom students out here, there's so many engineering students out there who don't have a job, because most of them are just average. They're just the same. They are maybe 1,000 people, but they're just the same. They're so basic, so average, so mediocre. Just be the best, be exemplary, and stand out. I'm going to tell you, you're going to you're going to get that job. You're going to get that connection you need. So thank you guys for watching through this channel. And as you've seen, we still have a lot to talk about, especially now your career in campus and how you're going to progress it and make it a job or a business or whatever it's going to be. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more and comment, leave a comment, tell us what we maybe not mentioned, and we're going to talk about it in our next video. So bye guys, and thank you.
Thank you guys. Remember to comment when you mention something that has altered you. Remember to tell us. Bye.
Bye. We love you and take care.